Anil, what are the most important values you demonstrate as a leader?
Well, I don't know. Values, I think with a simple definition or a very simple way that somebody would look at leadership is someone who is always at the forefront. For anything which matters, right? So if we have to deliver something, for example, to somebody tomorrow, and if your team, for example, is sitting overnight to do something, and if it's important, maybe you may want to be with them, right? Creates a lot of this, our leaders with us kind. So I think if I were to define value is your presence at the front, right? And that is a value that you should carry. Leading from the front. And it's a phrase which is so true.
True.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What is your greatest strength and weakness?
So I think strength is that I'm able to identify or work with people of different skills and try and make them do what they're good at, right? So for example, I have this great debate which goes on with my people in the office, and people saying that, this function is not doing well. Why? Because people are not good. Right? What is good? I don't understand the meaning of good. We've probably not hired the best. What is best? I don't understand best. Or maybe we've not hired people with the right aptitude, for example. Now, what's aptitude? Everybody has some sort of an aptitude, right? So, of course, you have to hire the right person for the right job. There's no doubt about it. But if we could deep dive into every person that you hire, then everybody would have been super successful, right? So one thing that I believe is, and that I believe is a strength, and I'm not sure if it is believe in people and try and understand what they would probably be good at, and then try and make them work in that function that they're good at, right? And that if you're able to do well, you're able to create a good team with all mixes and matches of people, right? And that would probably give your organization a little longer life, right? So again, I don't know if that's right or wrong. My weakness is, how do I put this? I do take times for taking the decisions that I already think I should have taken. So, for example, there is an intuition that something is wrong, right? And most of the time, from experience, it's that the thought was right? That something is wrong, that thought was right. And I could have acted on it, saved money, which is okay, or of course, then did something else, which would have been interesting. So, I don't know, weakness or not, but sometimes I take a little longer time to take decisions, and that is something which I think over a period of time, or maybe very quickly, I need to evolve in it. So what I do is, when I hire people, I try and overcome these weaknesses by finding those strengths in those people who are able to take decisions very quickly. And of course, if you have faith in them, then you let them take it and then run with that. So I don't know. I would probably put my strengths and weaknesses there. Yeah.
Thank you for being honest.
Yeah. No, everybody has weaknesses. We have lots of them.
True. So as a leader, how often do you think it's important to meet with your teams?
Well, that's another thing that I don't do very well is if I find a team to be running well, which I don't know, again, good or bad, but if I find some teams to be doing very well, I kind of get onto something else and I'm focusing there. Right. Because I have faith in them. But sometimes if you don't meet them that often, that creates a kind of a gap which is sometimes people there have a feeling that, probably I don't spend so much time with them. But ideally, any leader should be able to meet people. Of course, you cannot meet all of them, but in some form or the other, communicate with them regularly, write to them, which is also something that I'm I'm not very good at personally. But I think these are very important aspects for a leadership or a leader, and constant communication with your people, right, in some form or the other, which I believe some of the great guys that you see in the US and of course in India as well, some great leaders, they're able to do that very well.
True.
And that probably is a learning for me, which I've still not been able to master.
True. So in fact, that leads me to my next question is, what do you think is one characteristic that every leader should possess?
I think I would always start by saying that every leader, once having achieved that leadership position, should be humble, right? Every leader, and I think this is true for anybody who wants to become anybody, should have the ability to listen. And I wouldn't shy away from saying that sometimes even I, for example, while I have great patience for people, I'm trying to preempt what is he going to talk to me about. And I would probably cut in and say, because I've already preempted, and 90% of the time that preemption is right. So by experience, you understand what somebody's trying to say. But as experience would have it, otherwise, you should have the patience to listen to that person completely, give him that time, right? And if you have the ability to listen, I think that would also is one very important characteristics of a leader, the ability to listen to people. You take your own decisions, doesn't matter, right? There will be 100 people telling you 100 things, but at least listen to them, right? Yeah.
True. What is the most difficult part of being a leader?
There are a lot of difficult parts, but the most difficult that I think through is making people work with people.
Okay.
That takes away a lot of time on your table, right? Because, of course, the world is not perfect. So there's always a challenge between everybody's good. So one good guy working with another one, and the team collaboration. So how do you achieve this people working with people to be tried to then create this nice oil, which is then used for your engine to fly, for example. So when an engine runs, it has got so many parts in there, small and big, but they all work with each other in like a tandem, like a dance, like a, I don't know, I'm not very fluent with the music or the orchestra and all of that, but you know, how do they move together, right? If your people are able to work with each other in that same harmony, then you're really creating a rocket, right? So I think that's very, very important. And I believe, I kind of, put in a lot of time to try and make people work with people.
True. What is the one mistake you witnessed leaders making very frequently than others?
I think I said this before. I think you need to be humble,
Right.
and you need to listen to people. Over a period of time, when you've kind of grown into that role, maybe because of age, your patience also goes down. And then you're not willing to listen to people. You're not being humble. You've become a leader. You think you've been there, done that, achieved it, right? But I think I've found some of the best leaders having these qualities, and that is why they still continue to be the best of the best, right? So, yeah.
How do you define success?
Well, of course, how do I put this? People define success with money, which is of course not true. But let me see if I can try and put it differently. Success is not defined by the money you make or the likes that you probably get on your Facebook page when you try and do something, or your LinkedIn page, or when people call you successful. But success is defined, for me personally, is when you probably are no more in this world, how many people come to drop you to your grave. A lot of times, I'm sure you would have realized that there is somebody whom you know has expired, but you're at work, and you can't even go and give your respects for the last ride. So, sentimentally, but having said that, I think success is defined by, of course, the impact that you've made, and the impact gets translated, with the number of people coming to drop you to your grave. So I don't know.
Okay. True. What advice would you give someone going into a leadership position for the first time?
Well, I don't know. I kind of said this before. Humbleness, ability to listen, and then maybe success. If you were to really read it as a part of number of people coming to drop you out of grave, maybe a good human being. So I think a good human being is, I think, at the forefront of everything that you would want to do. And on all the leaders, most of them are good human beings.